Hey, my loves. How we doing today? Hoping all is well with you. Sending peace of mind, love for yourself, and compassion for yourself. And just some light, just in case you are in a dark place. Because, I've been there. I be there. I think as long as we're human, we're going to have those moments. Because we're on a journey to better ourselves spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. So it's going to be things that come up that we don't quite understand. And so in the past several months, well, now I won't say several because that seems very excessive, but I'll say in the past couple of months, something has come up from my childhood that, you know, and a new addiction, which is crazy. So crazy. And I'll go more into detail about it once I do some more research on it because it is a childhood trauma. So before I speak of it, especially about myself, I want to do some more research first. So I'm just out on my daily walk. And as I'm recognizing myself, like literally recognizing myself, I'm asking myself, and I've been asking myself, and I've been asking God and my higher self and my ancestors, like, why am I doing this? And I understand that I am still fighting black magic. As weak as it is, I'm still fighting it, okay? But I understand now why. Because I know okay, so hindsight 2020, everything I've been through in the past 20 years has prepared me for this moment in time, this second, this hour, this, whatever this is, whatever it's going on Mother Gaia right now, okay? Whatever this is, I can't even put a name to it or a description to it because it's we've never seen anything like it before, okay? But before I start with which I recognize now going into a trance when I just start talking. And that's just me channeling, which I'm recognizing that's what it is. I used to be like, I don't know why I just said that. I just went all off on a tangent, but I'm recognizing it's a download, which is, a little freaky. Because a download it kind of implies that somebody put something in your brain, right? Or somebody put something in you. That's a download when somebody give you something. But in this case, it's a positive thing, okay? So as I was discovering why I'm doing what I'm doing, why did an old childhood trauma come back and got me doing things I was doing when I was a kid, okay? And then I pick up another, that's confirmation. And then I pick up another habit. Now, add on to the one I already had, which just amplified the one I already had. And so I'm like, okay, I never desired that before. What is going on? And so knowing I am still being influenced by black magic and still bound to a specific person energetically, and that he is and they are, because it's more than 10, are going through a tower of their own, which they may have not recognized what it is. They just may feel crazy on the inside. And I would definitely love to talk to them about it, but they would have to come to me, only because I had to separate myself emotionally, disconnect from them, because I was feeding everybody. But everybody around me wasn't feeding me. They wasn't replenishing me. And if you're tuned into this channel, I know this is a weird type of channel because it's like I just be talking, but I really don't. There's always information and little nuances in what I say. I'm just now recognizing that as I started recording my own self like a couple of years ago. And then now that I'm listening to them and posting them, I see it now. I see it. I see what other people see now. I never saw that. But anywho, as I was going through my own tower moment and recognizing and healing a childhood trauma that has manifested itself in a 45-year-old woman that hasn't done it since she was a child. It's like, okay, what the hell is going on? I'm aware now, I'm conscious, especially of my own behaviors and my own mindset. Especially 3 months ago, I wasn't doing it at all. So it's like, okay, well, what's going on? What's going on? Okay. So I know there's an influx in black magic being thrown my way, but I am divinely guided and divinely protected. So I moved through this, and someone said that I've gotten used to the pain. And I had to recognize that in some sort of ways that I have, which if you get used to the pain, then you no longer question what is bringing you pain. You no longer question wanting to heal it. You no longer question those things. And of course, I shedded some tears because that was a mirror reflecting back at me. And I'm like, okay, girl, get up. We ain't used to this pain because there was a moment when I was eating right and I wasn't smoking. There was a moment where my body was free, literally, free of pain, free of any and everything. Everything. Free. There was no pain. There was no wantingness. It was just freedom. It was just being. I didn't crave anything. I was eating. Well, let me take that back. Because I love food, right? And so at that point, I was living off salads and fruits, things like that. And I wasn't really, and then, I would cook a meal, but I would cook it and freeze it. Like I just made some spaghetti squash. And, I picked the biggest one so I can cut it up and reheat and all that good stuff, right? So I know that there was a moment where I didn't feel any pain, and I remember running and like I was a kid and laughing because I didn't feel no pain and no joints or nothing. So I am getting back to that. And I questioned myself. I didn't question God because I always know that there's a reason behind it. There's a method to what we consider madness because we don't understand it. So we label it as crazy or madness just because we don't understand it. But we have to come to a place where not understanding something, we leave it up to God. We leave it up to the universe. We leave it up to our ancestors to dictate the rest of those steps. We don't deem it as crazy because once you deem it as crazy, once somebody deems something as crazy, then it's BS. It doesn't make any sense. So anything that comes from that, any fruit that crazy has bared, it's going to be tainted, okay? So I am just now discovering not to label it as crazy because that's how society trains us. That's how we've been indoctrinated with all the TV shows and all that stuff. They deem the unknown as crazy, instead of it just being mystical, spiritual, unknown. It's okay to not know. Okay? It's okay to not know. So as I'm going through my own, that's just a lesson and a message because that's not what I intended to talk about. As I'm going through my own tower and I'm discovering why, when, where, how, what, and who, I have an aha moment. I have an epiphany. And the message, the sentence that I got was, God is going to use the people around you to prove who you are. If that makes sense. I'm going to say it again. God is going to use the people around you. The people that have turned their backs on you. The people who have thrown dirt on your name for no reason. The people who you've supported your whole entire lifetime. But when it came time for you, now, no one was there to be found, or it was like pulling threads and needles. You had to cry and beg in order to get it, okay? I know it's disheartening and I know it hurts your feelings, but there's a lesson in that, okay? There's a lesson. You gotta find a lesson for yourself. There's a lesson in there. My lesson, cheat sheet, keys to the streets. My lesson was to depend on myself. And I'm almost certain that no matter what trials and tribulations you've been through, no matter who hurt you, whether it was your mama, your daddy, your grandma, your great uncle, great grandfather, cousins, nieces, nephews, babies, dogs, cats, the bird in the sky, I don't know. Just know, no matter how different your trials and tribulations are from mine, the end game is for you to depend on yourself emotionally, spiritually, physically. And I'm missing one more. Mentally. That is to depend on yourself. I didn't say that is not to work well with others or to collaborate. No. You definitely need to know how to work well with others. But first you gotta need to know how to work well with yourself. That sounds crazy, but it's the truth. You gotta know how to work well with yourself. That's the journey I'm on. That to me is what a spiritual journey is. That's what God wants each and every individual to know how to work well with themselves. Yeah, we've been through traumatic situations and issues as a child, but as adults, you're no longer a child. So you don't have a mom and dad, even if they are still living and breathing. They're dealing with their own crap. So you don't have a mom and dad, which you should have as a child. Understand. I know that. And if you're still a child and you're watching this, then right now you're in a peculiar situation. You're in a strange situation because you can't pretty much assert your freedom. You can't talk back to your parents. I would not suggest that. But you need to learn how to govern your emotions. Speak your mind respectfully. Some parents ain't gonna want to hear it. Some parents may hit you. I don't know what type of environment you're in, but you know how to act accordingly until you are able to get free, okay? But this is for the adults that are experiencing childhood trauma and acting out in a way. Normally, we would have a parent to guide us, a mother, a father, okay, generally. In some households, it may be a grandmother, great-grandmother in this generation, okay? No matter what the parental figure looks like, you normally would have someone say, hey, don't do that. That's a bad idea. And if you didn't get it done as a child, right now, you're learning how to reparent yourself. You're learning how to reparent yourself. And if you have children, understand they are a product of you. So if you're in the process of reparenting yourself, what do you expect your child to do? They can't reparent themselves. They still a child. So I only say that not as judgment, because I was in the same boat, not as judgment, but for you to see and get a clear understanding of what you're dealing with in your household and have a little bit more compassion. I know your fuse is loose. I know it. I know you probably at the point of one more thing, and I promise you gonna get it. I know you probably at that point, but understand they are children. They are only taught and know at this point in time on this day, which is Friday, they only know what they have absorbed first and foremost, and what we have taught them. They absorb first. Understand, they absorb first. With their hands, their eyes, their mouth, their senses, but mainly with their sixth sense. Babies are very impressionable. Kids are very impressionable. Very impressionable, okay? So if your child is misbehaving right now, then you got to check where they been. Check their environment. Maybe they ain't been at your house. Maybe they been somewhere else. Don't blame the child, though. The child is only doing what it knows to do. They act out because they don't have the vocabulary or the emotional intelligence to pinpoint what the crap is going on with them. Heck, we are adults and we having a hard time navigating. How do we expect children to navigate this complex system, which is just emotions? Emotions are very complex. And so he's going to use the people around you to prove who you are, though. And that's what I'm learning at this very moment, because I'm sitting still. But I am experiencing some some spiritual warfare, because that's what this is. This is what this is. If you having bad thoughts, or you having bad feelings, or you nervous for no reason, but you sitting at home, or you watching TV and all of a sudden you get this funky sensation in that's a song, no pun intended. You get this funky feeling in your stomach, this nauseating feeling in your stomach. That's somebody messing with you energetically. People don't have to be in close proximity. That was my mistake in believing, because the one who doing it now, I haven't seen him in years, but I know it's him. Energetically, ciphering my energy, doing black magic. Yeah, him and his karmic. I don't even know who. It could be somebody I don't even know. But it's somebody I had a tie with. But the moment I broke my tie off with this particular person, all hell broke loose in my life. So, yeah. Another confirmation. That's the second one. Okay. So no matter what you're going through, understand, it's going to be used for a purpose. It's going to be used for a purpose. You just have to stand strong. This ain't about everybody else. It really isn't. I know it seems like it because they're the ones that's attacking you, but they're attacking you for a reason. Understand. Let your haters be your motivators. I'm still trying to learn and understand that, because I know, like you want to attack. You want to defend. You want to clap back. I get it. Don't do it, though. Because that means you're being pulled back down to that level that you just ascended from. Because I know there was a time, and you're probably struggling with it now, where you just went ham. Don't do it now. Especially if it's been a long time since you lost your cool. Now understand, there are going to be times, situations, people, places, and things that will. Our goal is never to come out of character. But we're babies in this game, okay? So I'm not expecting you to be perfect, because I dang sure ain't perfect. I struggle every day. So I'm not asking you to be perfect, but I'm asking you to think 10 times. Think 10 times. Think 10 thoughts. Normally I say think 10 for 10 seconds, but I'm going to challenge you. Think 10 thoughts. 10 thoughts about the situation you currently want to clap back in. And if it goes against where you're trying to go to, if it goes against where you're trying to elevate to, then you know not to do it. Because what I'm understanding and understanding and overstanding at this present moment is that God, or whatever higher power you believe in, will only bless us with what we are able to handle. And if you want some sort of notoriety, you got to be able to handle what comes along with it. And I can tell you, baby, I wouldn't have been able to handle a lot of this stuff. I wouldn't have been able to handle people having their opinion or judging me. None of that stuff. I'd have been having to say something. Always had to say something. Now I don't care. I don't. I just want to help people. That's it. My whole life. I just want people to live a happier life. That's it. To beat the game. To beat the system. Oh, because there is a system in place. It definitely is. Hidden in plain sight it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hidden in plain sight. But if you pay attention and get rid of the distractions, you'll be able to see it for yourself. And you got to clean your insides out. Got to. That means no meat. No meat. It's killing you. I can't sugarcoat it. It's killing you. And if you think about anything magical, if you think about anything spiritual, and if you believe in anything about God's given talents that he gives his people, and one of them being intuition, if you believe in any of that, then my baby, my darling, my love, it is time for you to get on the track and stop eating meat, because they are tainting the meat to block your spiritual gifts. Whatever spiritual gifts that may mean to you, okay, just know that you eating meat goes against the laws of nature. We didn't know that. They kept that hidden, okay? They kept it hidden. They did. On purpose to keep us stuck here, fighting and arguing with trauma and trauma bonding and eating emotions from animals that done was killed reckless. Yeah, they mad I'm saying it. Woo! They mad. They mad I'm saying it, but understand it's killing you. It's blocking your spiritual gifts. I promise you, I wouldn't tell you no lie. I wouldn't tell you nothing that's going to harm, injure, or try and destroy you. Not at all. Not intentionally, because that means I'm harming and hurting and injuring myself. And I'm not trying to do that, which is why I don't try and come out of character, because when I come out of character, it feels good like we coming out at that person, but really you hurting yourself because you done dropped your vibration down. And depending on how bad the blow up was, depending on how bad you done dropped down, okay? I am learning not to reside in anger. Because when you're in anger, you clap back. You clap back because you feel like you got something to prove. You feel like somebody done challenged you. No, they ain't challenging me. They challenging themselves. But the moment they're projecting. So if you're chilling, and I'll explain what that is. If you're just chilling, and like you minding your own business, whatever that may mean, and you got people coming at you, blaming you for shit, you know. Now, if you operating in your lower vibrational self, which 9 times out of 10, if old childhood trauma is coming up, and this is Saturn in retrograde, and it's in Pluto, which Pluto is bringing up addictions of all kinds. Doesn't have to be drug related. Okay, and I've said that in a couple of other videos before. So, yeah, you're going to feel a certain kind of way. You're vibrating low. So when you're feeling like that, that means quarantine yourself. Deal with it yourself. Figure it out. Figure out why you feeling like that. Why you wanting to do this? Why you wanting to do that? What's causing this? What is triggering you? And so I had to realize what was triggering me. I had to realize it today, this morning. Because I found myself doing it again. Now understand, whether or not you believe in magic, it does exist. So if you find yourself doing things that you normally would not do, or you haven't done since you was a child and grew up, 9 times out of 10, somebody is influencing your energy. I know. You don't believe it. I feel you. I can tell you, just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So I'll compare it this way. If you believe in God, if you believe in a higher power, if you believe in Buddha, if you believe in Allah, if you believe in Yeshua, Jesus, if you believe in any ascended master, if you believe in anyone who has walked this spiritual path, okay? How can you not believe in magic just because you don't see it, just because it doesn't present itself like they've depicted on TV, like they've shown you on TV and in movies? Just because it doesn't come at you that way doesn't mean it does not exist. It does exist. It does exist. It does. You just have to pay attention. Magic is in the mundane things that we do every day, that we say every day. Your words are magic. Your actions are magic. They just sensationalize magic in the movies and on the TV so you wouldn't be aware of it. So you wouldn't think it existed. You would think it's make-believe. They Jedi mind tricked us. That's what they did. They Jedi mind tricked us. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Understand. I'll tell you no lie. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. They Jedi mind tricked you into believing that magic was something that just happened in the movies and not in everyday life. It is in everyday walking life. Our ancestors knew that. We didn't know because we were deliberately disconnected from them. This whole system was made so you wouldn't know who you are as a person, as a spirit, not the avatar that you embody, not the fact that you came from this person and that's your mama and your daddy. No, where did you come from before you incarnated, before you came through that birthing canal, before your mama cut you out her belly? Where did you come from? That is where the secret lies. You gotta know where you come from, baby, where your spirit come from. And as I minister to you, I am ministering myself because this is something I just discovered. A revelation that I was not connected to my ancestry, which means that I was lost and was not able to understand when they were talking to me. I didn't know. I did not know. And I'm assuming if you are on this channel too, my darling, my love, my brother, my sister, no matter your race, creed, color, or sexual preference, you were misguided. You were misled. You were bamboozled. You were hoodwinked. You were led astray. Stop it, I say. Nope, I can't stop it. It's the truth. Okay? But together we can bridge the gap. Yeah, we can bridge the gap. And if you know, you know. We can bridge the gap. We can bridge the gap. We can bridge the gap. So that's what, there was something else I wanted to say. I can't remember it at the moment. But if it comes back, of course, I will post it. I got 3 videos in the shoot, but I'm going to go ahead and put this one up first. And then I may go ahead and post the other 2. I didn't go back. I stopped going back and listening to them and jotting notes because I feel like whatever you're meant to hear or know, it will resonate deep inside it. You will feel it. And so I can't tell you what is important to you, you know, because what I'm writing down is what was important to me when I was saying it, but you may hear or feel something completely different, and it may not be nothing I wrote down, and I don't want you to feel like because I didn't write it down it's not important. So just in case you're wondering, I stopped writing stuff down. So all right, my loves, I'm gonna continue my solitary walk. No music. No music, because I lost my daggone earbuds, and that was karma. That's what I feel, because I'm all caught up on my karma. So whatever karma I get now is what I create, because I'm protected. You know, I'm protected, and I'm learning to find magic in the mundane things, like how I use my words and what I speak, which I will have to say I have done my whole life, but I was being infiltrated. I've always spoken life into people. I've always, because I see their potential. I see them. I see what they're capable of. And to some, that's a mirror. And if they're not in tune with themselves, they will look at me as if I'm judging when I'm just speaking my truth. You should be able to speak your truth to the people around you and it not make them feel a certain kind of way. If it makes them people feel a certain kind of way, understand it's not nothing you are doing. And I'm not saying if you're being an asshole. If you're being an asshole, then it is clearly you. Okay? Point blank and period. If you're being an asshole, it's you. But if you're in the situation that I was in where you was giving of your heart all the time, you were passing off free information all the time, which is energy, which is love. Okay, if you was giving of your heart freely, if you were being